Adam Sandler is back with his dramatic roles with his latest Netflix film, Hustle. Sandler plays Stanley Sugerman, a talent scout for the Philadelphia 76ers who wants nothing more than to give up a life on the road and become a head coach. The 76ers' son takes the reins of the organization and promises Stanley a coaching position if he can find another talent. Stanley goes back on the road and luckily finds a young phenom in Spain named Bo Cruz. With only a few months to the draft, Stanley brings Bo back to the States without the permission of the 76ers and whips him into shape to be the professional player that he knows that he can be.
He is kind of a professional because he was kind of getting paid on the streets and gambling and stuff. That would make you a pro, right?
No, I
Not
don't.
really.
No.
Self-employed.
Yeah, entrepreneur, man. You're employed by yourself. Playing
So,
basketball on the streets.
so Rowan, you suggested this movie, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick on you. What'd you think of Hustle?
So going in, it's Adam Sandler. It's Netflix. Been a recipe for disaster. Usually, I'd heard good things. I watched it. The what I'll describe myself as the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, where he's pointing at the TV and he said, "Oh, because I like the NBA. I'm an NBA fan, and there was so many NBA
Oh yeah,
cameos in this that originally I was starting to write them down, and I was like, there's just an absurd amount." I liked pretty much everything going on in this movie. For the most part, and it's pretty cool to see like back-to-back scouting movies and how dramatically different they are. But I think most of all, I was just happy to see Adam Sandler in a good role, like a proper, what I would consider a proper role. Like, not that the cheap comedy movies he does aren't proper movies. I just, if you see 3 or 4 of those in a row, you're like, is this guy, it's all he's doing? And then you see him do something
Exactly.
like this movie, and it's just awesome. I think that's great.
Yeah.
So out of everything, I was just happy. And Uncut Gems had just previously came out too, and I thought that movie was fantastic.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Neither have I.
yeah. I haven't seen Uncut Gems yet, too.
And those are
Mainly
both like,
because of my aversion to Adam Sandler.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, because
I-
Adam Sandler's more like just put a wig on him, put a beard on him, put him in a cafeteria suit. It's the same character.
yeah,
But
and you can tell
this
within
one is
about
totally different.
in about 3 minutes, you can tell it's different.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
And about 3 minutes, if this movie starts out and you're like, still don't know what's going to happen, and then, in about 3 or 4 minutes, you're like, okay, this is like good.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Or
I
this is
felt that.
well written. It's not going to
Mhm.
be one of the almost slapstick-esque comedies you're describing.
Yeah, because I kind of got a little worried when I saw it was a Happy Gilmore production. I was
Same.
like,
Happy
"Ooh."
Madison. Yeah.
Or Happy Madison, not Happy Gilmore. Yeah, Happy Madison. I was like, oh, okay. This is going to be like Trouble with the Curve with comedy thrown at you at all sides of the court. But no, it wasn't. It was more serious, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I did too. I really liked it. It didn't get to my heart that much, but it could for some people. It did not feel like a 2-hour movie at all to me,
It
Yeah,
kinda
except-
did,
except during the 8-minute montage.
This movie loves some montages.
Yeah.
but
I did some homework.
oh boy,
This movie technically has 8 montages.
8.
There's a lot
If you include the opening credits and the end credits, because technically those are montages, but I'm giving them a pass because they're credit scenes.
Yeah,
So minus those, there's 5. The shortest is 1 minute, and that's the 4th one.
Do you recall which
Follow-
one that is?
That one is the driving from the airport to the second private combine.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then the following scene is the private combine at 1:07 montage. The next one is 2 minutes 30 seconds, and that is the combine, the actual combine. The next one is 4 minutes. That is the doctor scene with the YouTube where they're doing the YouTube video
Oh, yeah.
where they're paying guys money if they can score on them and stuff.
The
Right.
going viral montage.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
And coming in first at a whopping 8 minutes is the training scene.
Oh yeah.
up the hill.
Oh yeah, that's the majority of the movie. It feels like.
Yeah, I mean it's 8 minutes long. Now, granted, it was good. I enjoyed the music during the scene. The music helped. If you've got some really good music,
For
like
sure.
Rocky's montage doesn't seem long. It's got Eye of the Tiger, right? But this one, this one was very long. The second part was, you gotta come on.
Well, he did play.
It's over, right?
He
Oh,
did,
no.
have some sort of homage to Rocky, because right when he ran
did.
up the stairs, Adam Sandler's like, "Oh yeah, he's like Rocky." I'm like, okay, that's cool.
But I'm only
Yeah.
giving him a pass on the first two, for the credits. The other ones, get rid of at least 3 montages out of this film.
There's
Yeah.
only one scene I didn't like in this film. I don't want to get into the negatives immediately because I think there's just a ton of positive in this movie. Did you feel? I felt like this movie had like a nervous energy the whole time, and I was going to ask. So I don't know a whole lot about the cinematography, but I felt like the cinematography was probably polarizing. I enjoyed it. I was curious if you guys liked it, and what the way I would describe it is it's the camera is constantly moving, and there's a very odd effect they use where they blur like the top and bottom eighth of the screen, or maybe they blur all of it, but it's the blur is more predominant at the top and the bottom of the screen, like letterbox style. I didn't have any problems with it, but I know I like movies like Cloverfield that are supposed to be handheld movies. So this movie and Uncut Gems has a lot of that like nervous energy style photography, like cinematography. Did you all enjoy it? Didn't bother
I
you at
mean,
all? Or
I didn't see a whole lot of issues with the camera work. I mean, I think handheld and being on sticks, there's a need for everything for like being handheld or being on sticks. Like in the house, in their house, I think it was mainly on sticks. It was mainly on tripods and stuff like that. It was very steady, either that or steady cam. But I know like the training scenes and stuff, it was very handheld, which I think kind of actually may have been like from the daughter's camera perspective. Like she was
Yeah,
filming
some
it.
of
Like,
it.
so you were
Yeah.
actually seeing what she was filming. So I mean, I thought that was a pretty good mix of those camera shots, especially when she comes in with her, "Hey, I'm going to film school, and so I'm going to make you a pretty sick commercial or something." I did like that a lot.
Yeah, I like the cinematography in this. I think it's appropriate for what it's doing. Like all the high energy stuff that's going on. Yeah, camera's crazy. They don't go overboard. They don't go into like Paul Greengrass territory with
Right.
like Born Identity, which I cannot stand.
They're having a normal conversation, and it's just like
Yeah,
All over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super
exactly.
crazy. Like, oh my god, stop!
yeah. It's like, are we on a cruise or something?
You're
Like, why
talking
are
about
we?
FBI documents that are boring as hell. Stop moving the camera a lot.
It makes it better.
Well, yeah,
It makes it better.
No.
Well, that's the point. Is they I think like Paul Greengrass in particular, he does that because the dialogue is a lot of times boring. So he tries to spruce it up by moving the camera around so it's not
Yeah.
subconsciously boring. But I think everything in this was really nice. I really
Mhm.
enjoyed this movie. Like John said, the music. There was that one song that I really liked during the training. It's called "Running."
222. It's you against you out there, and right now you is kicking your ass.
They ain't got no muscle, no hustle, no backbone. I stand alone, not tripping, just saying.
And the acting, like Adam Sandler surprised me. It makes me want to go watch Uncut Gems now. Um, and I didn't realize, but Bo and Kermit are both professional basketball players. Because I don't really watch NBA all that much, so I didn't know. They surprised me. Like I didn't realize that they weren't actors. I was like, wow,
Oh, wow.
they
That's
probably had to do some major scouting to find this, 8 foot tall dude to to be able to play this character. Like he's getting
Right.
typecasted as just basketball players, probably. But
I had to look up his height because he does look extremely taller than Adam Sandler. So is it Juancho Hernangomez?
something like that.
Something like that.
yeah, I believe he is
He was
Spanish
Bo.
too, right?
Yeah, he's from Spain. Which it's like I'm kind of wondering, is this his life story? Is this how he actually got picked? To be playing for the Boston Celtics, because that would have been pretty damn cool if it was actually like based on a true story and it was him that was actually the
This
one
was
that got
not
that got
based on a
picked.
true story. I'll just tell
Ah.
you. Yeah.
Okay, well, it doesn't ruin the movie that much because it's still
Well, I mean,
fantastic.
technically it could be. I mean, he is from Spain and he's playing in the NBA, so I mean that's all you
That's true.
need for based on a true story, right?
Well,
Okay,
and
yeah,
he
Yeah.
actually went to play for the NBA for the Celtics.
Celtics.
So him ending up in the Celtics uniform at the end of the movie is kind of a nice little, nudge.
Yeah.
But so how tall does it go?
He's 6'9". That's pretty damn tall. I mean, I'm 6'5", and I guess he's got a couple inches on me. But Adam Sandler's 5'10". So yeah, there's
So
quite
Adam
the difference.
Adam Sandler's actually
doesn't
taller
look
than me.
5'10" in this movie. He looks taller than that in this movie.
Well, they took the camera and actually made it lower, so that way you look taller.
Well, Justin, I'm used to it. Everybody is taller than me. So
That is true. How tall are you, John?
5'6"
Gotcha.
on a good day.
On a good day, if you stand up straight.
Good guy. Yeah, got to stand up straight. Put some shoes on. I might gain an inch or two. But,
Right?
but
Exactly.
5'8" on a if I'm falling.
But
Did you guys recognize the first basketball player they showed when they go to, I believe it's like Serbia? A really tall
He
guy
looked
called
familiar,
Boban.
but I didn't
Oh
know who he
yeah, the one
was.
that faked that he was 22 or something.
So that's
He's like,
Boban.
Yes, I'm
yeah.
22. Like,
He's like
okay.
he's a fan favorite no matter where he plays. He doesn't get like full minutes. He comes in more of reserve roles. He plays center and he's massive, right?
Yeah.
But I think more, if you're not an NBA fan, you may know him from, I believe he is in John Wick 3.
14 million, it's a lot of money.
Not if you can't spend it.
So the ending. What did you guys think about the ending? Because I thought it was actually going to be like, let's wrap it up. This actually didn't work, like right then and there. I was not really expecting this is a surprise scouting session with like all the team owners and all these basketball players and no media, all that stuff. I wasn't really expecting that part at the end. I thought it was just going to be not today, and then do a smash cut or a 5 months later or something like that, and see him on another basketball team. And it was like a kind of a surprise with Adam Sandler. I don't know. What do you guys think about the ending?
Yeah, I didn't see it coming either. I figured he was gonna sail back, or he was gonna get on the plane and then Sandler. Well, sail back. Yeah, my bad. Fly back. Or maybe, and either it was like what you said, or Sandler gets a call and chases him onto the airplane. He's like, "Hey, you made it. The such and such wants you," or something like that.
Oh, okay, I got you. So he feel like he had gotten drafted there at the
Right.
airport or something like that, or gotten picked or something.
Right.
So I gotta say, I did see it coming, mainly because I knew where the movie was kind of heading. This kind of heartwarming movie from everything we saw. I knew when he was driving him to the airport. I think I had to pee, so I paused it and I saw that there was like 30 minutes left. I'm like, okay, so
It can't get wrapped
it
up.
can't
in 30
get
minutes.
wrapped up in 30 minutes or so. And he still has that unresolved issue with playing against Kermit.
Luca's here.
You know what? He just said the same thing about you. And I'm gonna say one last inspirational thing to you. They can't kill you if you're already dead.
Right. So there has to be a resolving. They have to resolve that issue in order to kind of like wrap things up. So I knew that there was going to be some kind of game that was going to happen between these two characters, and we're going to see him overcome, his training with Adam Sandler and all this, and that's what's really going to make it all kind of wrap up nicely together, which is what happened. And I like the way they did it. It worked out fine. I like the ending. I think we talked a little bit earlier, somebody, did you guys see Kermit using his daughter as a pawn?
Look, she likes me.
I did not see that coming, and I was pissed off for him.
Yeah, really.
I was. Yeah,
I definitely
I
wanted
was like,
to
you
kick his
freaking
ass.
jerk. You don't. I mean, wives, mothers. Okay, yeah, go ahead, but not kids.
Yeah,
That's
children.
just
Come on, leave that out.
that's
Coming back to
rough.
what Justin said, that's an NBA player. I thought he doesn't have that many lines, but it came off as like real acting, which
Mhm.
Oh
I
for
was pissed
sure.
off at him too. I was like, damn, he's getting under my skin.
Mhm.
Um,
And I think Juan or Bo Cruz his character was fantastic. I thought he was excellent in this thing. He
Cruise
was
Missile was an awesome nickname. by the
Yeah,
way.
I
Cruise
thought
Missile
so
was
too.
awesome. I like that a lot.
What did they end up going with? Boa? Eh,
Yeah,
Boa
Boa.
Constrictor or something.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Adam Sandler did say some sort of ridiculous dad joke.
Adios.
Bo Cruz. You're gonna cruise to find them tomorrow. Huh?
It's still not funny. Get out.
It's no good? All right.
I did not think he would end up on that 76er staff again.
Me
Yeah, I
either.
didn't either.
Yeah, I thought he would be like, no, go.
I thought he was going to become an agent for the
yeah,
guy.
go away.
I thought he was
I
going to
tell
be
you, that
coaching the guy on a
lady
different team.
Is
But
the chick that took over, the asshole sister. I mean, she looked like she was ready to jump Adam Sandler's bones there at the end. I'm like, easy. Queen Latifah can kick your ass.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, actually,
don't get the queen in there.
Speaking of, what did you guys think about Queen Latifah in this?
$200 worth of Pringles. These are meals for the week. Tell him to rinse the containers so I can reuse them. And also tell him pornography is free on the internet.
He's paying for porno?
the TV show, The Equalizer.
Was she
Oh
an
yeah,
equalizer?
yeah,
Yeah, no, they made the Equalizer movie into a TV show starring Queen Latifah, which is just kind of like a bizarre mix of things to put on, like, I believe CBS or something like that.
yeah.
It's just a really
I
odd
think it's a CBS
matrix
show.
of like things. I thought she was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when she's in a movie role, I think that she's way better than what she is on a TV role. I don't know if it's just the production value or the writing. You can get better writers on a movie or something like that, or on a TV show, it's just a constant rotation of episodes, right? But on a movie, you have a script. It's been vetted. You've read through it a lot. You're getting a lot of trash out. And Queen Latifah in this, she was like a perfect role as a mother and a wife, and was like, wow, that's actually pretty good. I could actually see that couple being real. There's not a whole lot of couples in movies that I think are like, I don't feel like they're real, but this one did feel like they're real.
They did some interesting stuff with their relationship that I noticed. Like towards the beginning of the movie, they're sitting on the couch trying to figure out what to do with Adam Sandler's career, and he's like rubbing her feet. And then later on, you find out that she was a track star in college. And then you later see them in bed together, and she's rubbing Adam Sandler's hand. And this is before he tells Bo what happened to his hand. And even really before they put little hints in there that something was wrong with his hand, but they didn't say why. And then you later find out, oh, he was in this car accident, and that is like what killed his career and everything. So there's little things like that they put in that I really like that they did in this movie that they could have easily have just foregone, and it would
I
have
guess
amounted to anything. But
I guess it's pretty difficult to hide this massive thing on his hand while he was driving. It's you start to ask, like, wait, what is this? What is what's on his hand?
So he's been wearing that thing for like 20 years.
I
It
guess
seems a little weird, but
That was confusing.
know.
That was the only thing confusing about it. It's like that looked like a temporary thing you put on your, like when you sprain something and you put it on.
right.
But
I
I do
didn't
like
see
they don't
it
hit
at
you
the
over the head with
beginning.
it though. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
passively put in there.
I didn't notice it at the beginning. I mean, it might have been in there, and I just didn't see it. But I really didn't notice it until they pointed out until the camera pointed out there was some scarring on his hand, and then throughout as it led up to and after the explanation, that's whenever I started seeing it more predominantly.
Yeah, this generally made me laugh a couple times. Actually,
it did. Yeah, I mean, it does have some Adam Sandler comedy mixed in, but it's not overdone like an SNL skit. Right. So it's clever humor, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck did you do to the minibar?
Sixes are paying. Don't worry.
Yes, but we don't eat $9 Pringles. A man must have a code.
I literally just eat one chip. They are not that good.
It's still $9. They don't charge you per chip.
It's clever. It's not slapstick. I
Right.
I laughed when he's paying all the hotel bills
Yes.
Yes.
for Bo, right? And he has all these porno charges.
They also mentioned they'd love you to stop with the porno.
Porno. It wasn't me.
Then who was it?
Okay, it was me.
Great how that's handled, because it's not. It's almost all done through their facial expressions.
And I'm sure
$9
they have
Pringles.
internet over there, but
Yeah, $9 Pringles. Lord have mercy.
shoo, no thanks.
Never. If you don't learn anything from this podcast, don't ever do anything from the minibar.
Yeah,
Right.
keep it
Exactly.
closed.
Yeah. Keep it
Right.
closed.
Yeah.
I didn't get the whole he eats a little bite of everything. Was that just but he ordered all the same food on one part? I thought that was kind of weird, but kind of funny to see his room. It looks like a wreck, and
Yeah, but you got 5 cheesesteaks.
Yeah, but each one is different one.
But you only took one bite of each one.
Yeah, you take one bite and you don't eat at all because if not, you get fat.
Why were you looking at me when you said that?
Come on, Stanley, I don't say that.
I thought they were going to go like he can't handle life in America, right? And he's going to get totally out of shape. But it was like a different story. It was more like he just eats one bite of everything.
There's a lot of subtext and a lot of subtle things that they do that if you're paying attention to the movie, it builds this really good world.
Mhm.
And it really one of the biggest things I have with new movies is they don't develop characters very well.
Mhm.
We say that about this all the time in our podcast. So to be able to go to this movie and have someone who I don't particularly like, Adam Sandler, in this role that can actually build this character that I can relate to and all this stuff, it's fantastic.
There is a montage where, okay, the daughter, she doesn't like the NBA, but she's going to use her knowledge of social media to solve a problem in a climactic way.
Mhm.
I was like, oh no, this has lame just written all over it. But they pulled it off, I thought, pretty well. I thought it was done in a way that didn't feel overly produced, and it didn't feel like they're just phoning it in, because I think that scene in most movies would be terrible. And I thought they did a pretty good job, pretty damn good job with it.
And I only point out the number of montages because of my aversion to montages.
Yes.
But
John's
at
got a
least-
thing against montages.
I think they're cheating. But in sports films, you're going to get montages. That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the sheer quantity just surprised me with this one. But that being said, I think they're all done very, very well.
Yeah,
For sure.
well, I'll get into the one scene I didn't like, and I wonder if you guys. This is one scene I very specifically I don't like, and it's the one scene I'd take out of this movie. And I've thought about how it's like really easy to fix, but it's essentially the first time you see Bo, and he's playing in Spain,
Hmm.
and they're on the court, and then he gets in an argument, and he's like, okay, 1-on-1, and it basically looks like something out of the movie 8 Mile. I just thought it was absolutely ridiculous and like overly produced, and they could have done that in 1,000 different ways. Where could I just had Adam Sandler just watching, and you could have done that whole thing with no music and just had him watching. There was a lot of different ways, but they made it very dramatic for some reason, and it's kind of the only like super dramatic part of the movie. And
I think they were just setting up maybe the future instance of that kind of conflict of getting under each other's skin and everything. I think they were just setting up for, hey, you know what, basketball is the same whether it's street ball or on the court on an NBA court or something.
Yeah. So maybe it's not so much the actual scene; it's just the way it is shot.
The way it's shot, yeah.
It's all it felt, again. It felt like I was watching 8 Mile or something, or it just felt totally out of place with everything else in the movie, and just felt overly dramatic. Because all the other ones with Kermit, right? That did not feel overly dramatic. It was like pretty intimate,
Yeah,
focused on them.
it
But this
was.
has like this whole hype crowd, and they were like trying out all kinds of like camera angles and weird transitions and funny backgrounds. But it's weird because like you could see the background, but then you can see there's like clearly like 50. This is just 50 actors in a circle in this scene. But I mean, if that was my biggest complaint, I just would have just done that scene differently. I would have made it a little more raw,
Yeah.
and not so over dramatic.
Yeah, I
But-
think you're right. I think the scene's important because it sets up the backstory that he has an assault charge that he was arrested for. That he doesn't handle conflict very well. So I think it's important there. But I think you're right. I think it's a little bit overproduced. Like to what John's saying, they could have cut that montage. It could have just been the one-on-one. And Adam Sandler walking down the street, he hears the crowd go, "Oh," and he looks over and he walks over and then he sees these two guys playing. It could have just been simple as that. And then he, realizes he's got some talent that he's sitting here watching. And then it would have been fine. And you cuts that feels like a 10-minute scene down to 3 to 5, maybe.
Yeah, and just make it more gritty. That's all. I just wanted it to be. It just is the only scene that felt completely unrealistic in the whole movie. Like that one, it's like, oh, and then everyone started clapping at the bar. It is the only scene in the entire movie which I felt was just look, this would never happen. And if it would happen, it wouldn't happen with like these hype squads going on. It would be like total chaos.
All right, fellas. So now we need to basically tell our viewers should they watch Hustle from 2022 or not. John, what do you think?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Go watch it immediately. I love the movie; it's great, despite the 17 minutes of montage. I say the montages are good enough. Go see it
All right,
in your
Rowan?
living room because it's Netflix.
Right.
Rowan?
100% gonna agree. Definitely watch it. It's really good to see Adam Sandler in I'll use the word proper. I don't want to insult his other movies, but to see him in like a serious role. If you like the NBA at all, you like basketball, you'll love this movie. If you don't like basketball, you'll still like it. And check out Uncut Gems also. If like you absolutely cannot stand basketball, recommend Uncut Gems. But yeah, this is a no-brainer watch.
What do you think, Kyle?
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually very shocked at how much I liked this movie. Like right when the credits started rolling, I really liked the credits and how they actually showed like this is who they actually are. I was like, oh, this person played himself and this person played himself, and you realized that there are so many basketball players in this film that were also acting in this film. Which so 10 out of 10. Let's go watch it.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna make it 4 out of 4. This is definitely a watch. I was really surprised by the acting. Like I said, I'm not a big Adam Sandler fan, but even the pro ball players that were in this, like Kermit and Bo, they surprised me. Like I didn't think they were. I thought they were legit actors and not pro basketball players. So kudos to them. So yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't watched Hustle yet. All right, so that does it for our review of Hustle from 2022. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe and like and share. It really helps us all out. Next week, we're going to be trying something different. We're going to be doing our first live stream. That'll be on Tuesday at 5:30. So make sure you can check us out there. We're going to be doing some movie news and talking about Hustle and kind of comparing it with the other scouting movie with Trouble with the Curve, and talking about some other cool stuff. So make sure you check us out. And with that, we will see you next week. Bye.